Okay. A very good afternoon and greetings to Yang Berbahagia Professor Emeritus, professors, doctors, lecturers, beloved students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Esther Salimun as your moderator today. Would like to welcome all of you to the webinar of the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences, Faculty of Science and Technology, University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Thank you for your time and participation in this webinar, whether you are in Webex platform as well as our official Facebook Live. Ladies and gentlemen, here with me today online are the two amazing and fantastic ladies, the alumni of UKM who has been very successful in their respective career after graduating from UKM. They will talk about life after UKM, industry or academic. So I believe this topic will be very interesting, especially to the students as well as to the lecturers. So our first speaker will be Miss Marsha Sakina. Hello, Marsha. Both of them are from Indonesia. Yes. Marsha is currently working in Selamberge, Indonesia. She took her bachelor in environmental science, geoscience in UKM, and then graduated in 2011 and continued her master degree also in UKM in geophysics physics, and graduated in 2012. Today she will talk about geophysicists' role in the oil and gas industry. And our second speaker will be Shelly Mardia Faizi. Good morning to Shelly because she is in Germany.
Yeah.
Good morning. So she's she's currently in pursuing her PhD in Helmholtz Institute Freiburg for Research and Technology, Germany. She took her bachelor in UKM in Science of Geology and has graduated in 2012. Also took her master degree in Uppsala University, Sweden, and graduated in 2021. So our first speaker will be Marsha. Then we will continue with Shelley. So without further ado, I would like to start the sessions by inviting Ms. Marsha Sakina from Selamberge, Indonesia to present her sharing with all of us. The floor is yours, Marsha.
Thank you, Dr. Esther. So I will share my screen first. Let me share.
Yes.
So good afternoon all. Salam sejahtera kepada semua. I hope everyone is in the good health. Thank you for attending the session. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marsha. I work at Selamberge as a geophysicist for almost 10 years. Since I graduated from UKM in 2012, so UKM has been in my heart. I could remember my uni days when I could spend the night at the library and study on the weekend. And I could remember getting the bakery, in Zar bakery, and most of it I miss eating chana in Tusanika in the afternoon. So if I tell you can story, 40 minutes slot, it won't be enough. So I'll start with my personal introductions. So I took bachelor degree in environmental science and graduated in 2011. At that time, I was not ready for work, so I continued to study for a geophysics degree and graduated a year later. Then I joined Schlumberger in Indonesia in 2013 as a fresh graduate. And this photo is taken during my first year working in the company where I learned the field works. Uh, then the first publications I was involved with it was my thesis with Dr. Zulfahmi. Hi, doctor. Okay, and the other one was when I had my promotions project a few years back in the company. And currently, I'm working on my third and fourth publications this year. So hopefully, I can publish both projects within next year. Um, so When I joined the company, I had zero knowledge about my job scope, and Schlumberger provides the best study material. I can easily search for papers or conference on the company's platforms. Throughout my almost 10 years of working, I got training almost once a year for the first 3 years to elevate my competency as a worker. So, Schlumberger is a German-French multinational company with offices around the world, making the opportunity um, to have a board for training or assignments. And this make the company is very diverse. If I think Malaysia is a diverse country, Schlumberger is also a diverse company where we can work with people from other country backgrounds. So all the trainings, online references, and global expertise within the company enable me to evolve continually and continuously improve. This will keep us busy when we are not working on our daily job. And then before the pandemic, we always been have flexible working hours, so we could work whenever we wanted as long as the project were done on time. And the pandemic has forced us to reach the digital transformation. So I felt that we could work from anywhere as long as we have decent internet connections and meetings can be done online. Only for client engagement, I will go to office and meet the clients. And now I will start for the geophysics role. There are three related parts in oil and gas industry. So upstream refers to anything having to do with the explorations and productions of oil and gas. The geologic survey and any information gathering used to locate a specific area where minerals are likely to be found is called explorations, right? The term upstream also includes the step involved in the actual drilling and bringing oil and gas to the surface, while midstream segment refers to anything required to transport and store crude oil and gas. And the final sector in oil and gas is known as downstream. This includes everything involved in turning crude oil and natural gas into thousands of finished products that we depend daily. So Schlumberger focused on the upstream business, working closely with the clients. Despite the running the fossil fuel service company, Schlumberger announced a commitment to setting a science-based target to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions. The responsibility is part of the company program focused on environmental and social sustainability. For example, here is Schlumberger is following the 17 sustainability goals by the UN. Okay, I will continue on the 5 stages of upstream. So the upstream segment has five phases of upstream life cycle processes. So these timings are based on board generalizations about the length of different range of factors, starting with the explorations stage where government seeks uh, investment for its explorations and or grant access for firms to explore through direct negotiations or bidding process. Further explorations will occur where potentially viable oil or gas sources are identified. In the appraisal phases, sites identified as potentially containing likely oil or gas sources are examined in more detail. Explorations company will prepare to develop area with credible, commercially viable oil or gas reserves. And the development phase, government contracts and permits may be revised, and site is ready for production. Still, activity will dramatically increase during the field development phases. Oil or gas reserves are extracted and transported in the production stage for processing and distribution. In the closed stage, one is no longer cost effective to remove remaining funds. The site is decommissioned. Um, the operating companies are typically responsible for returning the area to its original state. So next, the geophysicists are essential part of the group of professionals who works together on the value adding process, looking for producing hydrocarbon reserves. For example, in acquisitions, geophysicists design and acquire seismic data through seismic survey, then generate and process the raw seismic image into subsurface image. This includes the surface seismic data and borehole seismic data. After that, geophysicists interpret the seismic data, such as horizon interpretations and um, providing the final structure model in that domain and delineating the prospect area. So when I joined Schlumberger as a borehole geophysicist, I'm working in a data service division to process borehole seismic data. So at first, I had zero knowledge about my job desk. My thesis is more related to geomechanics, not geophysics. But luckily, in Schlumberger, there is a fixed step program applied to every fresh graduate. The program includes online training, offline training, oral a review with the seniors, and e-learnings. So I completed this fixed step program in 5 years, and I was promoted to be a general engineer, where this stage standardized its engineer competency. And after 5 years, I was looking for another challenge, become a reservoir geophysicist. So um, I tried to become to work as a technical support for one of Schlumberger's software. And earlier this year, I did some multitasking for as static processing geophysicist, and on top of very technical job scope, I also do business development. So where I meet clients, listen to their issues and problems and related to geophysics matter, and try to offer solutions for them. So here in Schlumberger, the career path can be borderless because after the fixed step program, um, we can always ask for career orientations. Okay. So here I will explain a bit about the fundamental of geophysics that related with my work here. So as we know, the main questions on our clients' minds are usually to be where we can drill, whether we are looking at the land environment or marine environment. This is a big question. And how do we determine where we will find oil? We need to be able to get an accurate image of subsurface that can be interpreted to achieve our client's goals. And more specifically, we want to know the depth we should drill along the trajectory. We need the information about the subsurface geology and to use the appropriate tools and equipment to avoid blowout. And once the petroleum has been found, our clients need an idea of the required infrastructure for the optimum production. So our job here as seismic processing geophysicist is taking the raw acquired data and turn it into an useful image of substructure. So from this raw shot gathers from the field into this final migrated sections, which is usually used for the interpretation. So after the subsurface image is generated, drilling will begin for the exploration well and continue until the development stages and productions. Um, as I'm working in a team of technical experts, we increase reservoir knowledge by providing borehole data processing, interpretations, and real-time answer through a global network of expertise using a state-of-art software and high-performance computing infrastructure. The surface on the reservoir characterizations, including the reservoir evaluations, well placement and drilling support, productions and completions, well integrity, petrophysics, acoustic, borehole geology, and borehole seismic. So this is where I'm my field of work, the borehole seismic. So um, looking into the detail of borehole seismic survey, let's see the difference in geometry between the surface seismic here and the borehole seismic. In surface seismic, source and the source is here, and the receiver are on the surface. So we only measure two-way travel path from the source to the receiver. In borehole seismic, the seismic source is on the surface, while receiver are downhole. Then we can measure one-way time from the source to the receiver. This geometry of borehole seismic technique addresses three significant limitations of the conventional surface seismic method as a result of the difference in acquisition geometry. So in surface seismic, there is no direct correlations between time and depth because surface seismic record seismic data in time domain, right? And in surface seismic, we can see the body waves. I mean, the recorded seismic is only a upgoing body. The wave field propagating in the earth in response to seismic shock is composed of various components, some traveling upwards and some downwards. And it has limited vertical resolutions due the loss of frequency as the seismic travels from source to the reflector and back to the surface. While in borehole seismic, will only transfers uh, the formations once. So, but despite the limitations of surface seismic, usually surface seismic is runs in very large areas such as 900 kilometers, and but still, it's very important to run the borehole seismic survey in explorations well, so we can have a well control over the data. So if we see the data here, borehole seismic data bridge the gap between surface seismic data in time domain and downhole measurements in depth domain to delineate the reservoir properties here. When when we have all the elements for these integrations, we bring this data into one platform called so we bring all the data into Petrel software for visualization. So Petrel is a single platform on premises in for geoscientists and engineers to analyze subsurface data from explorations to productions, enabling them to create shared visions of subsurface. So, as a geophysicist, I usually use this software to do seismic tie and um, fault and horizon interpretations, mapping and depth conversions, using the velocity model building and structural framework and seismic attributes. Um, so you can try to search this software on this website. So I wonder if UKM is using this software because a few universities here are using this software. Under there's a program for university relations with the company. So a bit about our recent digital transformations that I want to share. So, as many of us know, the pain of managing a large volume of data in the new world becomes even more challenging. So, we want to create a seamless access to integrate data so all disciplines can find access the data they need in single place. So, we want to enable a new workflow that technical experts have wanted for years, but they were frustrated by the limitations in software and infrastructure. So, therefore, Schlumberger built Delphi. So, Delphi is like Netflix subscriptions, but it contains several softwares. A cloud strategy provides the means of consolidate applications and data in a secure environment that supports the continuous delivery on the new capabilities and content. And this Delphi makes the paradigm shift from applications um, centric to data centric, where the data is treated like asset. And the purpose of the application is to prove utility, quality, and understanding of this kind of data. And we've been trying to use this kind of Delphi environment to integrate all the data from geoscience and all of it and in reservoir characterizations. So a user can subscribe to this kind of profiles. And here, I think we were having these cooperations with the university, so they can use this kind of subscription and do a lot of things with oil and gas data sets. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thanks for your time. If you have a questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you,
And
Marcia. Yes,
yes,
before we proceed to our next speaker, I would like to invite from the participants, if you have any questions for Marcia, you can either just switch on your mic and directly ask her, or you may drop your um, questions in Facebook and also this Webex chat box, and I'll try to read for you guys. Thank you so much for your inspiring and awesome sharing, Marcia. So how do you find actually, because I found that this work field is majority is a men work field. How do you find it as a challenge, the challenges that you may face as a woman in this field?
um, yeah. So yes, it's so from my experience, when I mean the first 3 years, 3 to 4 years was really tough. Uh, so on the first year, I went to the field, and it's all men's fields, right?
Yes, you
I,
just
I just do it. I mean, I never questions of anything and try to
go
excel.
for it.
Yes, but you know that when women working in oil field, they they are expected more. because its woman is minority. That's why. And in Schlumberger, they always bow to women somehow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it must be for the first few years starting, it must be quite challenging, but now who knows, it's already 10 years of you working there.
Yes, challenging.
Okay. I didn't see any questions yet from the floor, also from the Facebook. Or maybe we can start with Shelly first, or maybe they're still processing and try to find some questions for you later. So I think we continue with Shelly first. Is it okay, Shelly?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I will proceed with Shelly. Let her share her talk with the title of Journey as Geologist in Europe, the roller coaster of academics life. So Marcia is working, so she is choosing industry. Now we try to see from Shelley's side as an academic life, as an academic. So she's still pursuing her PhD in Germany. So let's hear from her first before we go to the Q&A sessions.
Thank you, Dr. Exton. And can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Good. Okay, first of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting me for this talk. It's a really an honor. And actually, I was uh, planned to come to UKM until I think on 2020, and I already talk to for arranging some talk, alumni talk, because at that time I was like assigned by my university in Uppsala to promote Uppsala as student ambassador, but there was an issue with the time. I think it was on holiday, semester holiday in UKM, so I didn't go there. So it was really nice that now I have opportunity, even though it's online. I hope it doesn't really reduce the essence of the talk. And yeah, the topic today is very interesting. Life after UKM, industry or academia. I think I hope it's gonna be very useful for our fellow student. I don't know, bachelor or for the master student that might be watch this talk, because it's very for me in the past. I actually contemplating after graduate, should I continue my study or jump into industry. But it's also not a matter of choices, because in the meanwhile I failed applying for several job opportunities, and up yeah I continue doing more study, and I will tell you in details. And yeah, how's my journey as geologist, especially in Europe, how the roller coaster of academic life that I'm actually experiencing even until now. Okay, wait. Okay, yeah, my name is Shelly Mardia Faizi. I come from Indonesia. I come from Sumatra Island, which is very not that far from Malaysia, from Selangor, from UKM. And I at the moment I'm working. No, I'm studying a PhD. I'm doing PhD at Helmholtz Institute of Freiberg in Germany. But first, I would like to tell about how my academic journey began. Well, I finished all my basic academic from elementary school to high school in Indonesia, and then I continue my bachelor study in Malaysia in 2009 and graduated in 2012. I did my thesis. It was I worked with Dr. Che Aziz Ali. I think now it's Professor Che Aziz Ali, and Kamaruslan. On I working on the limestone in Bukit Bewah, Terengganu. I still remember. It was a very nice experience. And then after that, on 2018, I got opportunity to continue my master in Sweden. Here I got a scholarship and continue studying my master for 2 years. And then after that, on 2021, right after I finished my master, I am hired as PhD student in Germany. But my geological journey only start when I came to Malaysia as a student and then continue it to Sweden and to Germany. And it's totally different experience between these three countries. So I will tell more during my presentation. And yeah, it's Malaysia. I study in University Kebangsaan Malaysia, and for my master, I did it in Uppsala University in Sweden. And for my PhD now, I'm doing it. It's in Germany, in Freiburg. If you see here, I have two logo of different institutions. First is Helmholtz Institute of Freiburg, which is it is part of the Helmholtz Zentrum Dresden-Rossendorf. So my PhD actually it's a collaboration between the institute, which is it's a Helmholtz, and the university and TU Freiburg. I will tell more about this later on. So first of all, I want to show you a video about studying in Sweden. Maybe I hope you can hear the voice clearly. Yeah. Okay. Well, the video basically just show you how actually the life of student in Sweden, which is for me, it's totally different from where I come from Indonesia and where I did my bachelor in Malaysia. Since the culture between our country, Indonesia and Malaysia, it's quite similar. And when I go to Sweden, which is Europe, it's totally different situation. And with the weather as well, Sweden itself has like for seasons, and winter is very long there, to the point that I think winter even longer than summertime there. Uh, it was a bit difficult for me when I'm doing field work, because on October 2019 it was my very first field work. We went to Finland for geophysics field work, and it was a winter time, and I think the temperature was -3 at that time, and it was super cold, and I was super freezing, and I still not, adapt with the weather there, and I cannot even take out my pen to write a notes about the field, about the things in the field. So it was very interesting, but also very nice. And there in Sweden, it is they're very concerned about sustainability. Kak Marcia also shared about how Schlumberger also actually concerned about sustainability. I think now this sustainability issue is already everywhere. Even during my PhD here, we also try to be aware about these things like sustainable development goals, the 17 goals. Um, Even during my application to apply for scholarship, one of the question is choose one of the sustainability development goals and explain why, and try to correlate with the major that you want to apply for the scholarship, because it's very important. And Sweden is very sustainable, and yeah, totally different situation where I come from actually, which is it's such really nice experience. And another things about studying in Sweden, especially in my university in Uppsala, is how the academic situation there, where uh, they have these rules where when you fail for one exam, you can do re-exam many times as much as you want until you pass the exam, and then the result on your certificate, it will only shows the result when you pass. So it's very chill situation, academic situation in Uppsala. And even some of my friends, the Swedish friend, they don't, when they attend an exam and they see the question and they think they cannot answer, they will just let the answer sheet blank, and then so it's better to fail than to get a very low grade, because they can always do re-exam. That's how chill there. But that's, I think it's quite an issue also, if you are too relaxed, and then you might be like didn't manage to finish on time for your study there. So it's kind of a bit a trickier situation. And yeah, talking about scholarship, to be honest, it takes me like 6 years before I continue my master. And yeah, because I try to find scholarship, a fully funded scholarship, before continuing my master. And since Kamarcia is continue right after her study, he continue working in the industry. For me, I I don't really have experience in the industry, except my experience working as a trainee in one of the gold mining in Malaysia when I did my internship. Uh, right after my bachelor, I did work as a research assistant with Professor Wan Zuhairi in UKM. And right after that, I was looking for a job here and there in the industry, but unfortunately, I don't get any position. And I actually working as science teacher in international school, and which is it's again it's academia. And yeah, I worked there for almost 3 years before I managed to get a scholarship to Sweden for continuing my master study in geology. So maybe it might be interesting for you, my fellow students, because here there are four scholarships that you actually can apply if you want to study in Sweden. And it's the first one is Swedish Scholarship for Global Study, which is this is the scholarship that I earned to study my master there. And the second one, there is Uppsala University Scholarship. So in my university in Uppsala, they also provide a scholarship. And there is Erasmus Mundus. Maybe some of you already know about this scholarship because it's quite a famous scholarship. And there is another one which is EIP Inno Energy. Between these four scholarships, this is the one that I actually know. And there is actually another one. If since I come from Indonesia, our government also provide a scholarship for the Indonesian, which is called LPDP. But I don't share it here. Between these four, the three scholarships, Swedish scholarship, Erasmus, and EIT No Energy is a fully funded scholarship. They pay for your tuition fee and give you monthly. How do we say it? Like you get, they give you money every month for your life. And but for Uppsala, it's only covered your tuition fee. And I will talk more about Swedish Scholarship for Global Study because I received this scholarship. So Swedish Institute Scholarship, there was actually 5 steps to apply for this scholarship, and this is an international scholarship. I think there are like 42 countries that actually can apply this scholarship. I'm not sure if Malaysian actually also include within the list. You might check later on the website. I can share you the website. So the first one, the first step when you apply for this scholarship of is you need to apply for a master's program at universityadmission.se. So in Sweden, they have a platform to apply for every university that you want to attend. And then you can choose like 4 different university and 4 different majors at the same time. And at that time, I pay about like I think it's €100 for the application fee. And and then for the second steps is you need to apply for an SESGP scholarship, which is the Swedish scholarship, and it's in the different website. And then after that, Swedish Institute Committee will do a screening and evaluation before the admission announcement. And then you will receive notification from university admission whether you get accepted from one of the university that you actually already applied in the first step. If you don't get accepted in one of the university, your application for the scholarship will not be proceed. So it is really mandatory for you to get accepted from one of the university in Sweden. And the last one is the final evaluation and announcement of successful Swedish Institute scholarship recipients. So it's a very, I think it's a very simple application steps. And maybe you notice that there is no even interview session. You know, it's only like you give and submit documents, essays, documents like CV, and then motivation letter, and also probably reference letter from your. For me at that time, I asked reference letter from my supervisor, Coach Aziz Ali, and also from my former manager in the school where I work. And yeah, everything is only about application. And I tried also to write an essay, which is they will provide you questions, and then you need to answer. Usually, the question and answer should be related to SDG, SDG, the 17 goals of SDG. And yeah, and what you get for this scholarship? First, yeah, you get fully covered tuition fee. The duration of my study was 2 years, and everything is paid from by this scholarship. And then I received like 10,000 Swedish crown per month. I think it's in euro, it's about €1,000 per month. I'm not sure how much it's in Malaysian ringgit, but it's this amount of money. It's a lot, and I still can save. I can pay for my rent, and I even still can travel around, which is, yeah, it's very nice scholarship. And then in the beginning, when you receive the money from the scholarship, they will also give you like 15,000 Swedish crown, about 1,500 euro, for travel expenses when you go to Sweden, and then later after you finish your master to went back to your home country. And of course, health insurance, because this is very important. The when you go to the hospital here, everything is very expensive if you don't get health insurance. I went to dentist back then when I studied in Sweden. I pay about €100 just to do a scaling. I don't know if it's normal price in Malaysia, but for me it's quite expensive. But I have health insurance, so I can reimburse the money. So it's very nice. And then after that, after you are graduated, you will be part of the alumni of a Swedish Institute, NFGL, and which is a very international association. You can uh, actually build a networking, and every country usually have their own alumni association. Also in Indonesia, we have it. I think in other country also have this kind of association. And then extension. So the scholarship for me, it's I got like 2 year scholarship for from Swedish Institute, and during my year at the end of the study, they give us like a notification. Hey, if you want to continue your not continue your extend your scholarship to continue your study, but if you get internship after you finish your master, they will give you another 6 month scholarship. So like they will give you salary for if you're doing internship. It's like if you even you get paid for your internship, they will still give you money. It's a very nice scholarship. And yeah, I think they have a lot of money that they don't know where to spend. Maybe, I don't know. And now we come to the PhD study. This is the recent experience because I just start my PhD on 2021 on July. So July 15 next week, it's gonna be a year I am as a PhD student. So it is not like I got admitted right away when I applied for PhD. I actually applied for several universities like ETH Zurich, Utrecht University, RWTH Aachen University, and even in Uppsala University. I applied for this four university, but I didn't get accepted for for the university. Even my former alma mater, Uppsala, I didn't also get accepted. I know the project. It's even I know the professor, but still I didn't manage. For Aachen, I managed to the interview stage. Uh, I got chosen between like 5 people who managed to reach this stage, but unfortunately, I didn't manage to get the position. And then Helmholtz Institute Freiburg come, I applied and I did the interview and I got it, the position. And yeah, so maybe it's gonna be interesting for you, the PhD vacancies. Actually, I just found out about how PhD is actually not really about you study and then you pay for the tuition fee. Here in Europe, I don't know in another country because I only have experience here. They actually consider PhD as a it's equal as a job. So you get a salary, you get paid for this. So you don't need to find a scholarship. You just need to find a PhD position and make sure that in the PhD position that the advertisement said that if they're gonna pay you for that. Maybe some of a position doesn't like you need to find a scholarship first. But most of the PhD position, especially for the geoscience, earth science, I find a lot of vacancies for the PhD position, which is you can apply it and then you will get salary for your work as PhD. And there's the three websites that I actually look for when I apply for a PhD position. I forgot one more. It's the Helmholtz Institute private website also. Here it's the Euraccess, where you can find every PhD position and every, I don't know, even a vacancies on working in Europe here. You can check the website here. And here is the artwork jobs, which is here mainly the position related to the art science. And here it's the website for the position in Uppsala University. So you can take notes that every university usually have their own website and to promote their position. Either it's a postdoc position or PhD position. So if you cannot find anything from these two pages, maybe you can just click or search the university that you want to continue your PhD, and then you can check any available position. Or another thing that is I think is also nice is maybe you can reach your former supervisor if he knows any PhD positions. Usually they are very connected within each other, because for the three PhD position that I applied before, I got all of that from my former supervisors from my master. So yeah, it's very nice also to keep in touch with your supervisors. So how's the life as PhD student in Germany? So my PhD here, I told you early that I have a contract with Helmholtz Institute of Freiberg. So I have a 3 years contract, and each years I get like 38 paid holidays. It's not include the weekend, and it's not include the public holidays. So it's basically like you're working here as a, yeah, you're working as a researcher, and then to earn PhD you need to have affiliation with university. That's why I also registered as a student in TU Freiberg here. And yeah, I get monthly salary, and also if my performance is good, I will get a bonus every year. And yeah, here I think it's during Christmas they always give us like extra salary. I think it's like I don't know, for us maybe like do it raya, something like that, but here it's during Christmas. And yeah, for the PhD here in the institute, they want us to publish like 2 papers and 1 submitted papers during 3 years, so we can apply for defense, PhD defense. If we didn't have this, we are not allowed um, to apply for PhD defense. And then my PhD is research focused, because I have a contract with the institute, not with the university. So I don't really have like obligatory to teach or to assist a student, either master student or a bachelor student. So it's mainly more to research focus. However, I since it's research focused, it's also we don't really have we need to take classes or something. But in Germany, there are two different defense. The first one we call it rigorosum. It's like you need to have a defense which they will ask you about a very basic stuff related to your background. For me, I'm doing economic geology for my PhD. So this rigorosum will be about they will ask you question about very basic stuff related to economic geology. But you can actually choose not to have this rigorous Zoom, but you need to replace it with courses and also conferences. And the courses, at least you need to aim like earn like 15 credits for it. That's why I also have courses. I took several courses during my 3-year study, and of course conferences, international conferences or within Germany. So for my PhD itself, it's the project called Strat or project. It is a project work collaboration between Germany and Indonesia. You can see here, this is several institutions that is involved. One of it is Helmholtz Institute of Freiberg and TU Freiberg from Germany, and there is another institution like BGR, UIT, and UVR. And from Indonesia itself, there are several mining companies. It's Buku Iron Lateritic Ores, and Kapuas Primacoals, and the University of Gajah Mada, and this is a geological survey. This is a geological survey of Indonesia. So this is a project between Germany and Indonesia, and the project mainly focused on iron, lead, and zinc skarn deposit in Kalimantan, Indonesia. And this is a big project. We have 3 work packages. The first work packages is for the postdoc. He's doing a Sabuku iron lateritic ores, and for the second project, it's for PhD project, which is me. I'm doing a skarn deposit for the Kapuas Prima coal. And another one is also related to the skarn, but this project gets more to the processing part of the mines, which is it's handled by the BGR and UVR. So this actually my first project for my PhD. Mainly my PhD topic is related. The big theme, the big topic is skarn deposit and critical metals. And even though the main project is in Indonesia, but we had actually issued due to the COVID, we cannot go to Indonesia to collect samples and doing a field work. So we need to wait for our partner in Indonesia to send us samples to Germany, and it takes like forever. I start my PhD on July, and I received my samples from Indonesia in April this year. So because we already know it's gonna be some delays for my Indonesian project, my supervisors give me another project, which is it is also skarn deposit, but it's from Mexico. It's from Mexico, from one of the districts there called Morelos, and the mine is it is a copper and gold mine in Mexico. And yeah, I'm doing metallogenic relevance of trace elements systematic in skarn, which is related to garnet. And yeah, here's some pictures related to things that you might always see if you're a geologist, geological maps. And here's some photo micrographs from optical microscope. I have several minerals here. For the first picture, here you can see there is a garnet, a very nice euhedral garnet with even the oscillatory zonation, and it's intergrowth with calcite, and you also can see sulfides mineral here. It's pyrrhotite. And for the second picture, there is you can see here sulfides minerals overground the garnet. The sulfides mineral is here is chalcopyrite, and you can also see amphibole and pyroxene. And the third picture is another minerals is magnetites, and there is pyroxene, calcite, and arsenopyrites. So for this first project, we will publish this as my first paper, and it's still ongoing. And the main result is actually something related to trace element in garnet, and I'm still in a stage of processing the data. This is a very minor result that I get. Yeah. So, and the second one is the project from Indonesia, which is its iron-lead zinc Ruwais skarn deposit in Kalimantan in Indonesia. At the moment, since we just received the samples from April, we are really at the early stage. I have like 268 core samples, and also we got some pulp samples from the mines. And at the moment, we did like scanning to all the cores, like 268 cores, which is I need to scan, and I still have I think like 100 more cores that I need to scan. And for the pulp samples, we did the sample preparation already for doing the uh, several analytical methods, including mineral liberation analysis and XRD and also XRF. So here is basically the 6 methods that I've been using that I'm gonna use for my projects. Which is optical microscopy study, scanning electron microscope, electron probe microanalysis, XRD, XRF, and micro XRF, and also light laser ablation ICP-MS. So this whole instruments, not every instrument is actually available in the institute and in the university. We have optical microscopy, scanning electron, microprobe, and electron probe microanalyzer, XRD and XRF, but we don't have laser ablation ICP-MS instrument yet because we're still in the preparation of for the lab. So for doing this analysis, I did analysis in another city in Karlsruhe in Germany. So yeah. So here's about the extracurricular activities that I still involved in. I was thinking like, oh, if you're a PhD student, you're going to study, doing research, will not really join any extracurricular activities. But I think it's very good to join this because yeah, it's about networking. You have more friends, and also there are a lot of benefits, especially from because I have more experience with Society of Exploration Geophysicists. Here in Society of Exploration Geophysicists and Society of Economic Geology, both stand as SEG, but it's two different things. I will share my experience as a member of a Society of Exploration Geophysicists. I know that in UKM, in the master program that UKM offered is about geophysics, I guess, right? And yeah, and maybe it's gonna be interesting for you because as far as I know, in UKM you don't have Society of Exploration Geophysicists. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a very nice organization because they are very how do I say it? They have a lot of money, they have a lot of programs that they can pay you to attend. So this I joined this program when I did my master in Uppsala, and I was the vice president, and got the travel grant to US on 2019 to attend a student leadership symposium where there are about 50 different universities from around the world. Here you can see, which is attending the symposium, which is also in line with the annual conference of SEG. So SEG provides offered you student education programs, student leadership symposium, and also field camps, and also there's also scholarship that you can apply, which is this organization is a very nice place for you to gain more networking, and most importantly, they pay for everything for your uh, if you want to attend one of their programs. So I think it would be very nice. And now I'm still part of this program as the uh, student contact of this organization in District 8, which is in Europe, Eastern Europe. So yeah, I think that's all. So I take 5 minutes from the 30 minutes that I used to use for the presentation. Sorry. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Shelley. You have shared with us with a very informative sharing, especially useful for the students who are planning to apply scholarships in Europe and also pursuing their study there. And I personally, actually, Sweden is one of my checklist. Very beautiful place to go.
That's true.
Yes. Okay. I have few questions actually here in chat box, and it's firing now, especially to Marcia. But then we take one at a time. And Marcia also has already answered some of the questions here, but maybe we can hear from Marcia directly. But before that, if you have any questions like you want to answer to questions directly from your mic, you can directly switch on your mic and ask either Marcia or Shelly. Please introduce yourself first and then ask them.
Hello, hi there. Hi, my name is Amy. So, as I stated in the chat box, I actually wonder if we need to learn the language. We need to actually, very have fluence in the Swedish language or Germany language. That is my first question. And is there any class or free class provided by the university? And the second question is that true that the PhD students there will get the payslip? So if this true, actually is really good for PhD student after they graduated to apply any kind of jobs in future. Thank you. I think that's it.
So let Shelly answer first.
Yeah, sorry. It's the question. It's you have several questions. Uh, the first one it's related to whether I need to study the languages, right? Okay, so actually in Sweden, first in Sweden, the master classes that I took, it's international class, so you don't need to learn about the language because in the class they teach everything in English, and especially and also for Swedish people there, they speak English very well. And I was actually took Swedish course, I think for one semester, but since everyone speaks English, so I don't really practice. I don't even remember now about the any Swedish. At least only the very basic stuff like thank you and sorry or something like that. And yeah, it's everything is teach in English. And in Germany, here in Freiburg, particularly for the language in the institute, because my institute is very international and everything is in English, but sometimes they might hold a meeting in German, but yeah, but it's very rare. It's if they have international student or it's international researcher, they will use English. But in Freiburg, this is eastern part of Germany, and they're very conservative, and they are not really exposed to English. If you go to supermarket, to the restaurant, they don't really speak English at all. So you need to know basic German. And yes, here in the institute and also in the university, they offer free German courses, which is I also took, but I only took a first class because for the next class I was too busy with my PhD work and I didn't continue yet. So yeah, we get free courses for that. And I don't know what is the last question about the PhD thing. Sorry, I
Yeah,
missed that.
when you enroll in PhD, you get salary, right? Do you have the payslip?
Payslip, what is that?
Um,
There is the slip. It's the slip of the detail of your
Your
salary?
salary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So here in my institute, the contract is actually based on the three stages every year. So in the beginning, my contract only 50%, which is they will only pay you 50% for your salary, and then your working hours only like 19.5 hours per week. That's based on the contract. But you're a PhD student and your contract only 3 years. I think if you only work 19.5 hours per week, you will not finish your PhD. So I still work full time with a 50% salary. But the salary, or the 15% salary in the first year, it's more than enough for me to cover everything here. I also can save a lot because it's different from Sweden. Sweden is very expensive, and Germany it's a lot cheaper, which is I'm happy. And yeah, even for the housing here is also very cheap, and I still can save a lot. So 50% is still a lot for me. And for the second year, the contract will increase to 75%, and also your salary is gonna increase to 75%. To third year, your salary also gonna increase to 100%, and your contract as well. And for the pay, for the pay slip, yes, we got that. It's like it will tell you the brutto of your salary, the net of your salary, and what kind of taxes that you need to pay. The taxes here is include, as far as I remember, pension taxes, unemployment taxes, and insurance taxes, and health insurance. Yeah, that's as far as I remember. And for the taxes, every year you can actually reclaim the taxes, so you will get back your money. And for the pension taxes, I think you also can reclaim that after you finish your contract. And there is another taxes, unemployment taxes, which is here in Germany. If you are finished your contract and then you don't have a work, I don't know, for several months, they will give you that money, something like that.
I
So
see.
yeah, I hope it's answer your question, or maybe I missed some question. I don't know.
Let's continue. Thank you so much, Shelly. Marsha, I've posted like 4 questions here. Actually, I got the questions from a friend, and it's uh,
It's kind of a bit complicated, the questions.
I know it's from a technologist,
Yes.
geologist persons. So maybe you can just wrap up
Okay,
a bit on all the 4 questions.
as I know that Schlumberger is kind of like number one in surface company. So so they always want to be the number one in everything. They want to be like number one in technology, and we have a lot of um technology centers. So like they so in my company there's a lot of PhD people in to work. I mean they work in a technology center to, for example, for the software development, or in the one that develop the technology behind the operations and everything. For the geophysicists, I think the one that align with the big data and AI, deep learning, is the Delphi one. The Delphi that I mentioned before is a so Delphi is is a, like a cloud. We are working in one subscriptions, and we can add a lot of software inside that. And then inside this Delphi, there's some we can add the machine learning or AI kind of thing. So um, but we're still we're still encouraging the companies out there to use this Delphi environment, because it's kind of like very complicated, because we know like cloud is, I don't know where is it, right? So but we were working for each country with the local local companies to make this kind of data uh, data science progress progressively. And then the second question, what do you think the predictive analysis in digital technology able to help with the natural disaster prevention? So, uh, for my point of view, as I'm a geophysicist, that as we know that oil companies are still doing explorations actively, right? The operations of, I mean, it's kind of give uh, so not many companies that align with the sustainability goals, not yet. But there are few companies that are aligned that we try to so for example this year I was working with ENI. ENI is a Italian oil company. They just got uh award for making the operations of the oil and gas productions in align with the sustainability goals. And Annie, when they got this award, we were there. So we were giving the solutions that might prevent the natural disaster that links from the sustainability goals. So, and then it makes mm, Schlumberger to be the first one to commit on the sustainability goals because all we know that they there's so much company that never care about the sustainability goals, but there are some of the few companies that are care, um, and then Schlumberger is offering like advanced technology and everything, but still sometimes they neglect this kind of technology because it's very expensive, but they need to see the real value of it. um, how can we saving the operation cost, for example, by taking the advanced technology. But for example, in Indonesia, the approach is by doing some successful projects that is showing decrease of the operational cost and then make a paper out of it. So while I'm still working, I'm also working for a paper. I mean, like a research student. So in Schlumberger, they when we publish a paper, they give a award for that. Yes. So besides besides on our daily jobs, we're trying to look like what kind of like a different from the other. I mean, from the daily jobs that we can apply that can be submit to the like paper or conference. So Shelly once asked me, uh, why are you like submitting a paper? You are working. I mean, you're working, and then why should you you submit a paper? But here, because Cambridge is a technology that is very we are very I don't know what to call. Um, they respect on science and all of it and the technology. We have a lot of technology center. We have a lot of PhD working in the company. So publishing a paper is very common here. That is very interesting because I don't think that if we do mundane tasks like just working in our daily jobs, uh, we cannot be developed, right? So if we're working in a paper like a research student, we will be developed by ourselves. That's what I think. Yes. And then what's the other question?
We just briefly answer.
So what do you see the way geologists today going to change by 2030? Actually, I don't know. To change. So what I see, the the exploration is still going to be active. I mean, the the job is all still there. I mean, for a student who graduates as a geologist or geophysicist, um, like you can have. I mean, there's a lot of vacancies as a geologist out there, and um, because this expert is really specific. If you can work in a company as a geologist or geophysicist, there are only like maybe 10 people in worldwide or like 20 people worldwide. So it's a worth to try if you want to try to pursue the career in oil and gas.
It's very interesting to know that you also have to do papers, and yeah,
Yes.
I think it's a good way to. I mean, it's not just like you are working by yourself. Like you know also what's to do in future. Like when you do research, you know more what's needed, and
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. Right. So and I think also the SDG is actually very important also for us here. If you want to apply for a grant, for example, we also need to relate that in
Mm.
in applying whatever projects we wanted to do. Okay, let's go to Shelly first. There's another questions for you. Maybe it's quite is it so much different than working in the industry? But just that you still don't have any experience in working, is it?
That's true. My only experience working in the industry is actually when I did my internship. It was in Malaysia in I forgot the name of the mining. Uh, it's gold mining in I forgot where. Oh yeah, that's the only experience. Like only 3 months working in the industry, but I guess it's totally different. The pressure, the work life balance, and as Marsha said, they have this. They still have the opportunity, maybe doing some research while having I don't know working on the project meeting for some clients. But for me, for the academic life, it's well, yeah, you're attending some classes for my master and then doing a project. And I actually managed to get the internship also during my master, which is the internship that I did is here in Helmholtz Institute. So actually, I already know the institute way before I apply for my PhD. And yeah, here the only connection that I have for the industry while doing PhD is we have collaboration work for my PhD project with one of the mining industry in Indonesia. And the industry that place I don't even visit yet. And it's the same for the Mexican project that I have. It's also mining, which is called mining, but I didn't visit the mining site, the company, because my supervisor already handed me samples and I just need to do some analysis. So yeah, I guess it might be totally different. Maybe you can ask Marcia because she actually, yes, she did for master and then she
Also
worked now in the
industry, working
industry.
in
I don't know
industry.
how is the difference.
What's the difference pro and cons in working in industry or maybe pursuing your academic
Yeah.
masters? And
So when I continue my master, I was not ready to work yet. Um,
then you have to switch your mindset.
yes. But so if I can go back when my uni days in my master degree, all I can think is um just for attending um, and project for the thesis. Um, that I mean that 1 year was really tough for me also because it's really fast. It's only 1 year and
Of course.
classes and thesis and everything. Uh, but when I joined Schlumberger, is is different kind of difficult because as I mentioned, um, my thesis is about geomechanics, and when I joined Schlumberger, I was assigned to be a geophysicist. I have no idea how to do the job. And then so the first 3 years were was really difficult. I was like in university again because in Schlumberger they have very fixed type program that they need to shape or build you as what their standard as an engineer. So for the first 3 years, I was while working in a daily jobs, I'm also learning a lot of things. Um, so I haven't mentioned that my I received like three trainings each year. The first training was in Abu Dhabi. It's like 2 months, 2 months of training, and then if you fail, you're going to be fired. Like and the training has exam. It's like definitely like in a university. Um, and then if you fail like 3 times, you're going to be sent back home and fired. So it's really tough. But the thing is, I when I do my master's degree, I did that kind of ethics of study. I could like study until late of night or like I don't know. But the thing is that when we're working in industry, um, surely that the companies will offer a training to have a certain standardized what the job scope that we receive. But compare with the academic life, it's it's my basic instinct that have me survive that 3 years of company life.
I see.
So it both are worth it to try.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
because I think it's a common issue where students learn different courses, and when they end up,
Yes,
they will work in
that's true.
different fields. So
yeah,
That's true.
that's a very informative
yeah.
Yeah.
sharing
I,
from you. So at least the students here could at least have ideas on
Mhm.
what to face in the future.
yeah.
They might.
But I
Yeah,
yeah.
if you want to apply it to a company, try to find a company with a very structured program, um, such as the trainings that they're offering or the I mean the step that we need to took before when we're assigned to this job scope. When
Yeah.
I got my offer from Schlumberger, I took the offer because I know that it will they will give me a certain training. I mean, I didn't know how to do the job at first.
And
So
also the main difference I think is you earn more if you work in the industry. If you continue
yes,
academia.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's have the questions from Muhammad Ilham Hamadi, yes. How is the job security in oil and gas for the fresh grad in the future?
I think in surface company the job security is quite low because um to be to be honest, when I first joined the company, like almost 10 years ago, and now like my friends is already gone. Mm, they they have been resigned or being cut because the downturn. They like we had like two downturn, right, in 2017 and on the pandemic. So um so if you want a job security, you can try to apply in the oil companies. And what I can think that oil company, the GNG in the oil company, they own the field, they own the project, they own everything. So they might work less than the one who works in a service company. But if you want challenges more, you can try to work in service company where you can learn absolutely everything.
Yep. Dr. Khaira Tulmardi also suggested maybe you get more money, work networking, soft skills, and seniority when you're working compared to study.
Wow.
Agreed. So
Oh,
let's have the last questions maybe for today. Can Ideal Hakimi, can you just
okay.
switch on your mic and ask directly, Ideal?
This question is about the on working onshore and offshore.
Yeah.
So, okay. So when we are a geologist or geophysicist in surface company, there are two kind of vacancies. The one who works in the field and the one who works in in data.
Mm.
I'm working with the data processing divisions where I didn't go to the offshore or onshore. I did go there, but just knowing how the operations work. But if you want to work as a field engineer, there's uh, there will be like absolutely go to the field like endlessly. But uh, for me, as a geophysicist, I only work in office. I meet the clients. I usually like I receive the data from the field engineer and I process the data or interpret the data and then I deliver to the client. It's like a bridge the gap between the one who works in the field and the clients. So for a geophysicist, I don't go to offshore or onshore. Yep.
See.
Yeah.
All right. With that, I think we ended our sessions for this afternoon. Thank you so much, Marsha and Shelley, for these sessions, for this sharing. It's very inspiring and informative for me as well as the students, of course. You have been given us a lot of information on how to apply for the scholarships or how to survive in Europe and also in the industry, if we continue, if they want to uh, I mean shift from academic to industry section. So before we finish, let us uh, switch on all our camera so that we can take a photo together with our two spectacular ladies here, our alumni. One, two, three. One more. One, two, three. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Again, I would like to thank to Marcia and also Shelly for their interesting and very informative sharing just now. Okay. To really thank all of you, and you can say hi to your lecturers and also your friends if they are here now. And I hope
Yeah.
you guys are well in your own places. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for arranging this, Dr. Esther.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Uh,
everyone.
if you have more questions, you can also contact me directly through my email.
Yes,